Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing my full review of the Dark Bolt Designs Stratus and the Arcus. I am definitely going to mix up those names. I am not the best with the names. But here we are. We're going to do our full review. It's long overdue. I did my unboxing first impressions quite a while ago. So I'm excited to get into my full review. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, so we'll get that out of the way. And let's talk about Dark Bolt Design. So I don't know a ton about the company. I'm under the impression that it is a one-man operation, one-man show, kind of like Knife Standards is, kind of like me. And he has designed these knives, and they're produced by We. So these are OEM'd by We knives. We does some solid work, and I'm sure you guys have seen OEM'd knives or We OEM'd knives, and you didn't even know that they were by We. And of course, I know you've seen their own, branded stuff. We does a ton of models every year, and I forget what the name of the model. They come out with so many models. I forget the name of the model I had about a year or so ago, that I really enjoyed. It was great. Had some cool carbon fiber. I'm sure you guys can. Oh, it just came to me. The Sakshi. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. We does good work. That's my point. So anyway, Dark Bolt Design was kind enough to send these over to me to check out and to review, and I've really been enjoying these. I think these are really a solid first offering from a new company. And I think that, is there room for improvement? Of course, but as there should be when it's your first design or your first offering, your first knives, I think that there should be room for improvement. So there's a lot of positives here. I'm gonna get into them. But first, let's go ahead and kind of talk about the specs and the materials and all that. I'm already confused by the names. So we have the Stratus, Arcus. So the Stratus, first of all, there's a lot of similarities here. They're both G10 scales. They're both liner locks. And they both have this pretty cool little mechanism, this cool little, almost like a compression lock, where this button is going to push the liner over back to the scale, and then it closes. So I have not seen that on a knife like this. Of course, you have compression locks, and you have the Brown Knives FSD, which there's definitely a similarity there, and I'm sure, there's subtleties that make them different. But as far as the consumer goes, as far as the knife user goes, it feels like a similar mechanism. You push the button, the lock is disengaged. It's not a button lock, but it has that action of kind of pushing the liner to the side or pushing the scale to the side, kind of like a compression lock. So anyway, I'm sure someone knows the mechanism a little bit better than I do. Feel free to comment. The other thing that these knives have in common with each other are the multiple deployment methods. So you have regular back flipper, you have thumb studs, and you also have a front flipper, which it looks kind of intimidating, at least to me, where I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to front flip that. And then it works perfectly. So again, some front flippers look like no problem, I got this. This is not one of those. This is one of the ones where you think, oh man, I don't know. And then it works fine. So don't be intimidated by the positioning of the front flipper. It's pretty straightforward and pretty easy. Also, I don't know if I forgot to mention, did I mention it already? No, I don't think so. These blades are interchangeable. So the handles and the blades are interchangeable. So you can put the Stratus blade and the Arcus handle and vice versa and mix and match, which again, I think is cool. I think that is a cool idea. I think that is innovative. You have milled titanium clip. You have little lanyard, little standoff lanyard hole. You also have this milling, which I think is cool. Very kind of subtle And what else? Am I missing anything else? Let's see. There's the Arcus, which has more like a sheep's foot. Of course, machine satin, more like a sheep's foot style, you know, Warncliffe style blade. Looking good. And then you have the, Arcus Stratus. All right, got it. And this is more of a traditional, you know, drop point, clip point action. Both good looking. Now, which one looks better to you guys? I don't know. I feel like I haven't swapped them. I was thinking of doing it. Excuse me. And I still might. I feel like the Arcus blade on the Stratus handle would be sick. I feel like that's where it's at. But I don't know. I haven't done it yet. So let's go ahead and do a size comparison. And as far as blade steel goes, I'm pretty sure there's no blade steel markings as far as I can see. Let me see. No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is 20 CV. That's a good question. What blade steel? Let's see. Do I have anything over here written down? No, I don't. All right, mystery blade steel. I might do a follow-up video. I might do a disassembly and then I'll let you guys know blade steel. From what I remember, it was 20 CV. Not sure. The plunge looks solid. Really nice. Lockup looks good. Lockup is a little bit different on both, which is not a big deal. Let's do a size comparison. So we got these two guys. Let's go ahead and get the Sea Otter going, which is similarly sized. And maybe we'll get the, what else do we have here? So something a little bit bigger. We'll go ahead and get my tricked out PM2, which, by the way, I am selling this with all the crazy scales and the clip and the hardware. And this is 15V PM2 for sale. Definitely under what I paid for it, which is nice. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and I was just staring at the scales because they're amazing. Let's go ahead and measure these up. PM2 coming in at about 3 inches of cutting length, about 3.5 on the blade, a little bit over 8. We have the Stratus, 3 inches, maybe 3.25, and then about 7.25 overall length, and the Arcus, 3 inches of cutting length, and just about 7.25, and then of course Sea Otter. I know this is 3 and almost 7. So we'll get the Sea Otter out of the way, and we'll get my PM2 out of the way, and we'll talk a little bit more about Dark Bolt design. So I don't want to make this video too long. I might do a giveaway, kind of, you know, in conjunction with Dark Bolt design for one or both of these. But I think the cool thing here is it is a solid design. It is a fun knife to play with, multiple deployment methods. And by the way, it's not, one thing that has been just, I don't know, just rubbing me the wrong way lately is the knives that have the little, kind of like the, what's it called? The nimble, which I like the nimble, don't get me wrong. The nimble was the first knife that I saw do this, where you have the little cutout for the front flipper. And then of course, kind of in that Vero style, you have the little cutout for the back flipper. But having that on every knife that comes out, it's just like, you know, for me personally, I'm tired of button locks, and this is not a button lock. And I'm tired of having those two little cutouts so you can front flip it and you can back flip it. You can to me, this is a little bit more unusual, a little bit more fun. And this is coming in right around 200 to maybe 220, which I think is priced correctly. You know, if this was a Wii branded knife, yeah, maybe it's going to be cheaper. Maybe this is going to be $175 or whatever. But it's not. This is designed, the American designed knife. This is OEM'd by we. So of course you're going to have a little bit of a price jump. To me, I think 200, 220, 215, right around there is reasonable. It's G10. I think this is a hollow grind. Yeah. Hollow ground. Let's see this one. Sure feels hollow to me. Fun little locking mechanism. Good detent. Multiple deployment methods, and for me, not in a goofy way. I think this is, and then of course the little compression lock action or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think this is cool. I think these are cool knives. I think that if you're into the aesthetics and you want to be able to kind of interchange the blades and customize these, I think that's kind of the idea behind Dark Bolt design, is they want to give you the options to customize your knives. I think these are really cool, and I think the price fits. You got the milled titanium clip, I think a little bit of ano, and maybe some carbon fiber scales, maybe some full titanium ones. I think that'd be really cool. And when I first unboxed these, I was a little bit, not against the front flipper, but I remember saying, if we did a delete there, I think that would improve the aesthetics. But actually, you know what? I'm liking the front flipper. I like the multiple deployment methods done in a different way, where you don't have the silly cutout on both sides. I think this is more of a traditional flipper. Ooh, it's interesting. The detent on the Arcus is a little bit stronger. So how would I improve it? I think that offering a model, which I think they plan to do, offering a model or two or different scale options, carbon fiber, titanium, I think that would be a great step in the right direction. Also, let me see really quick. Hold on. Yeah, these are all T8 hardware, so that's good. I think that offering a model with a front flipper delete or with a back flipper delete, having different styles of blades to go in the same handles, I think would be really cool. So if I want a Stratus that's just the back flipper and studs, or if I want an Arcus that's just the front flipper, I think it's kind of a pain when you're going through an OEM to have that done, but it's possible to have different blades with different methods of deployment, so you don't get all three in every blade. Logistically, it might be kind of a pain, but I think that's a cool thing that I would try and do if I was making a V2 of this. Of course, the price would go up, but I would love to see a belt satin on this, or even a nice stone wash all the way across, maybe a full flat grind or a tall hollow grind. Again, it gets pricier when you start to change how the blade is finished, but this is what I would try and aim for. And of course, if they can do it, you see, I had never seen this type of button, this type of kind of compression lock-ish, where it scoots the liner over. But if they could do maybe a nested liner and keep that same button, I think when you first see the button, you're like, what is that? But when you use it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I also think the detent can be strengthened. The detent feels, it's really hard to get the detent right for thumb stud, front flipper, and back flipper. But I think that the detent can be stronger for the thumb studs for sure. And that will definitely help the back flipper detent, because I do think that needs to be strengthened a little bit. And then the front flipper, the detent actually feels really good for the front flipper. So you got to kind of, it's like a, push and pull kind of thing, but it's hard to balance all three deployment methods with the right detent. I think that it would come in really handy if you had certain models or certain blades with like only the front flipper, or no studs, or only the back flipper and studs. And that way you could dial in the detent and strengthen it just for the specific deployment methods. And I know that might be a pain for we to do, but I think that'd be a cool step in the right direction. Really cool. And I'm assuming these are steel liners, but do I have a magnet here? I thought I had a magnet. Wait a second, maybe. Let's see. Yep, so I'm actually gonna use the box. Steel liners. And where was I? Oh, anyway, I think this is worth the price. I got a couple comments on my last video, on my unboxing, that, oh my gosh, it's $200, it's $220, whatever it is. I think that fits with what this is. This is a solid everyday carry. It's fun. It has some extensive milling. Of course, you guys can't see it because I never bring a flashlight up here, but it has some extensive milling on the inside. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit. There you go. Titanium clip, fun locking mechanism, and in the game and in the realm of $300 plus knives, I think this has its place. I think this definitely fits in. It's a great first offering from Dark Bolt Design. I like it. I think it's cool. And I'm definitely interested in swapping the blades and checking that out too. Yes, you could get a Chinese-made button lock for $60 that, feels great and looks good. And maybe it's in aluminum or stainless steel, or maybe it's in titanium, but this is someone's business. They started the business to design knives, and I definitely want to support that. So, and yes, this is coming from an American designer that works with overseas OEMs. So of course, I'm going to do my best to support someone that is doing something similar. And also, oh, I just realized the clips are a little bit different. That's interesting. Yeah, check it out. But yeah, I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to design something and to get it made, and it's all of the different steps and the process of getting everything done. So anyway, I'm a fan. I like it. I'm looking forward to what Dark Bolt Design is doing next. I know, I think I saw them that they have a booth at Blade Show, so be sure to check them out at Blade Show. I know that their knives have a little bit of a discount online right now on their website, darkboltdesign.com. Definitely Google them. I'm going to try and get a giveaway organized for these guys, because I think that these are solid offerings, and I think someone's going to really enjoy these. Yeah. Stratus, Arcus, Arcus, boom. All right, guys. That just about wraps it up. This has been Knife Standards. I will catch you later.